Hi, I'm Kate Allison, coming to you from Davidson, North Carolina, and today I want to talk about cultivating a writing practice. And so go ahead and grab a piece of paper, or if you already have a journal, you could grab it, and a pen, and let's get started. So let me just take you on a tour of my writing setup. Got my journal, computer, and all of my journals from the last 10 years. From living in South Africa, being in Ecuador, in India, all sorts of trips, all of my meditations and reflections on my meditations. 10 years of journaling right there. Writing is something that's been super special to me. Just really over the last 10 years, I think I sort of started meeting myself at the blank page. And that can be a really vulnerable practice. Like having a blank piece of paper is this super open, super vulnerable space. And I really think of writing as just sort of meeting our soul, meeting the deepest parts of ourselves that we wish maybe somebody else could see or that they could understand. And it's allowing ourselves to be that person that we're seeking. Often we might try and vent or express grief or share something that we're really excited with a loved one. And then they respond and it's not what we were expecting. Maybe we were expecting more compassion, and maybe that person wasn't able to be compassionate or able to be as excited. And so the beauty of a blank page and the beauty of writing is that you are meeting yourself in that space. So you're responding the way that you are wanting to be responded to. So I also think of this blank page as an invitation towards emptying. It's an invitation to just let go and release anything that's there and to see what's bubbling up underneath that. The thing is, very often, and I've experienced this myself and talked to other people who are writers about this, is we end up slipping away from the writer archetype or the muse and the creative, generative part of ourselves into the editing, which is often laced with critique and criticism. And when we start preemptively assuming how somebody's going to read our journal or what somebody else is going to think when they're reading these words, we kind of constrict the freedom of the blank page. So we start kind of using these judgments and assumptions and squeezes in on the flow of creativity and what's possible. And so I would invite you, as we kind of do this practice here in a moment, to just go with the flow and to be the writer, to be the muse, to just let it come through you and to not have to tame it just yet, to not have to edit it or harness it in any way or make sense of it or have there be some nugget of wisdom and life lesson in it. It just gets to be whatever you want it to be, whatever you're trying to write. And then we can revisit it later if we want to. So at the end of this video, in the notes, I'm going to have a lot of different writing prompts and things that you can explore on your own. But I thought it might be nice together here to just take 5 minutes and practice releasing. So letting those 5 minutes be the container, letting the blank page be the container for whatever work and whatever feelings and emotions and imagery wants to bubble up for you. So go ahead and grab that paper and pen, and I'm going to time us for about 5 minutes. I might not be quite so accurate because I'm going to use my watch here and do it with you. And then at the end of 5 minutes, you'll just hear this sound, which are my little wind chimes. And that'll tell us that the practice is coming to a close and that we can kind of finish up. So grab that paper and pen and let's get started. If you don't want to do this synced up together, you can also do this at home. I really like the Insight meditation timer for this because it's a meditation timer and it just kind of dings a nice bell at the end of your timer rather than a big full alarm clock. So that can be a beautiful practice for yourself if you wanted to do 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So let's start with our 5 minutes. And let your pen touch the page. And when we start, the invitation is for your pen to constantly be flowing. So try to not stop writing. You might notice that your pace changes, like the ebb and flow of sort of a wave, but see if you can let your pen continue writing, even if all you're doing is writing, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write. That's okay. Just be open for what shows up. And yeah, let's get started. So go ahead and start now. If it feels helpful, you can always put on a song or some music to help you with this as well. And just as you're writing, noticing your pen, noticing your hands, noticing the flow. You may notice in your body where you're carrying tension or where you're carrying ease. And just allow yourself to wrap up whatever words are coming up, whatever sentence or thought is on. Just allow it a moment. And as it wraps up, place your pen down and just allow yourself to take in the page, to take in whatever showed up on your page, to be with it, and to be with whatever's there. And we're meeting that with compassion, which comes from the Latin word pati, which is suffering, and calm, which is with, to be with suffering. And also to be with whatever else is on this blank page, whatever revealed itself to you. Even if it was just a strand of, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write. Just be with it, right? Be with this page. The blank page was the vessel for alchemy to take place. Alchemy is the changing of form, the transformation, the transmutation of something into something different. So where there was once a blank page, now there's ink on the page. Something changed. Something shifted. And so just being with that shift, noticing what's shifted in yourself. As you did that practice, and just in the wake of that practice, what's happening in your body? What does your chest feel like? What does your jaw feel like? What are you aware of in your stomach? What are you aware of in your breath? And just noticing any subtle shifts or changes from just those 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes of being with the blank page, of meeting pen to page, of letting yourself open to whatever was wanting to show up. So just noticing that. And so if that felt helpful for you, I would just invite you to try that out for the next week. Just setting that maybe 3 or 5 minute timer, letting that be the container for this journey of opening to whatever's showing up for you. All of us have a story. All of us have had experiences. And so just allowing yourself to be with that blank page as the story on your soul reveals itself to you. And it doesn't have to be so big as that too. If all that blank page is calling to you is to hold space for a venting and just for writing out your grievances and things that you're really frustrated with and really angry with, that's also okay. You could just vent out everything that you need to get out from that day. And then I would invite you to find 3 to 5 things you're grateful for at the end of that venting. After those 5 minutes, when you've cleared that out, when the dust has settled onto the page, what shows up? What are you grateful for? And just see how that feels. So at the end of this video, in the comments, I'll have lots of different writing resources, some prompts that I can invite you to, and some other people's prompts that I really love as well. And if you have any prompts or things that are speaking to you in your own personal writing practice, please feel free to drop those in the comments so that other people can benefit and enjoy those practices with you. So may we have the courage to meet our soul with our words on the blank page, and may we have compassion with ourselves for whatever emerges. I hope you found this video useful and beneficial, and that it inspires you to meet that blank page. And I would love to hear in the comments, if you feel comfortable writing, how this practice has landed for you. Thank you so much. May all beings be happy and free from suffering, free from the roots of suffering, beginning with you and me.